For your first debate, you guys ready? Yeah. Come on, I need to hear a little more excitement, guys. Yeah, there we go. All right, how many of you guys are big comic book fans? All right, this should not hit well with some of you guys. The humor will, though, I guarantee. So first up, bringing to stage, give it up for Matt Maragno defending Spider-Man.
Yeah!
And his opponent, Dimond defending Batman, guys.
So we're really going to do this?
Apparently.
All right, cool.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, I think I'm going to start out. Spider-Man's from New York City. You may have heard of New York City because it's a real fucking place. Batman's from Gotham, which is like New York City if half of you were high on heroin, right? And the other half were smoking clove cigarettes or something. Spider-Man. Spider-Man didn't choose the spider. The spider chose him. He got bitten by a radioactive spider. He's like, hey, I'm gonna go with it. I'll build some web shooters. We'll have some fun. Batman's parents died, and he was like, okay, my parents are dead, but I have one thing. Bats. Bats are really cool. Bats are like the coolest thing ever. I'm gonna get a bat cave, I'm gonna get a Batmobile, I'm gonna get a bat, and I get it. Some of that stuff is cool. Batarangs are cool. When you get a DVD player that's shaped like a bat, you're fucking crazy. Batman is crazy. He has OCD, and he's gonna put bats on everything. Okay. I'm not going to say Batman's a pedophile. I'm not going to stand here and say that. I wouldn't make you defend a pedophile. I'm just saying. All I'm saying is, when you take an orphan whose parents died in the circus, you make him wear tights, you make him hang out in your cave with you, and you make him change his name to Robin. You're sending the wrong message. It's not the type of choice a normal person would make. It's the type of choice someone would make if they were batshit insane. Tim?
This boy wondered if you would bring out the pedophile thing right away. I am from Pennsylvania, so I've had a fair amount of pedophile defense back. Listen, Gotham is a real place, sir. It is. See, Batman has a job. Spider-Man, yes, Batman defends Gotham, but he's also the economic backbone of a nation. That is what Wayne Enterprises does. It funds the world that we live in through international capitalism. And I understand that that thought might not be attractive to the liberal pussies like Matt Maragno over here. You would much rather like some hipster photographer who just narcissistically shoots himself over and over. While he's not at college. Yeah, that's who's cool. College kids. When I was in college, I was doing 6 hits of ecstasy and clearing cases of nitrous until my ego faded away. College kids are dumb. Okay? Sorry, college kids. I know you're here. Wasn't expecting you. I was expecting an older crowd. It's cool. But seriously, his other job is a lab assistant to Dr. Kirk Connors. Yeah, that's right. What he does is he assists a supervillain who works on a machine that only creates more supervillains. Every villain in Spider-Man is created from the mutagenic recombinator. Every single one. Batman doesn't. Batman creates jobs. That's what Batman does. On to you, Maragno.
Okay, I'm thinking of a billionaire without a job who wears a cape. If you guess the Queen of England, you're wrong. I'm talking about fucking Batman. Batman does not have a job. If Batman took all of his money and distributed it among the bottom 10% of people in Gotham, they wouldn't need to rob and steal. Instead, he likes them robbing and stealing so he can beat them up and live out his childhood fantasies of being Zorro and saving his parents, who he can never save because they're fucking dead. Accept it, Batman, they're dead. Use your money for something good. He's spending his money on... He owns a satellite! He owns his own no human being can privately fund a satellite. If you can, you could get rid of poverty. Instead, he wants to play with his satellite so he can spy on the Joker. Why bats? Why would you choose bats? Bats are disgusting. They're not exotic. One out of every 5 mammals is a bat. There's over 1,200 species of bat. Bats eat fruit and shit on people and give them rabies. That's what bats do. Alright, you go ahead.
See, it only took Batman 2 dead parents to figure out that he needed to start fixing some shit. Spider-Man's parents died, and then he moved in with Uncle Ben and Aunt Jemima. And had to have another father figure die before he thought, hey, maybe I should get my shit together, because with great power comes great responsibility. And what would you do with that power? I don't know, let's look at his best friend and roommate. Oh, what did he do to him? Oh yes, murdered his father and fucked his girlfriend. Until he created the most reasonable villain ever created. That is what he did. And let's not keep in mind, Batman's not pure evil. He did reinstitute white slavery. So we gotta give him that. Alfred is the best white slave there is. You gotta love that. You gotta love some white slaves. And Spider-Man, what a pussy. What a god... When they were looking to cast Spider-Man in a movie, Topher Grace was an acceptable choice. That was perfectly fine. When they needed someone for Batman, they said, what actor will punch their mother in the face? That's right, that's how much of a badass he is. He punches moms in the face. I think that's all I got. I'm on to the big closer after this.
Okay,
I'm gonna wrap it up, Maragno.
Spider-Man has flaws because he's a human being. Yeah, his Uncle Ben had to die. Yeah, he fucked his friend's girlfriend. Guess what? Pussy feels good. You know who knows that? Peter Parker. You know who doesn't give a shit about pussy? Bruce Wayne, because he's a fucking robot man. He doesn't have real emotions. Billionaire playboy, that's just an act he puts on so people aren't wondering what the fuck he's doing with his money. They're like, oh, surely he's spending it on pussy and not Batmobiles and Bat caves, Bat etc. Okay, if you were to run into Spider-Man on the subway, be like, oh, it's Spider-Man. Awesome! It's the hero of our city. Look at you in your colorful costume. Oh no, it's getting crowded on the subway. Boom! He's sticking to the ceiling. All right, what a guy. Man of the people. If Batman walked into the trainer, he'd be like, oh shit, here comes old bummer boy. Mr. Frowny Face himself. Don't step on his cape. He gets real sensitive about that. Cape gets stuck in the subway doors. Bam! We're trapped. For an hour, at least. We're being held by the train's dispatcher and Batman's cape. Equal distribution of wealth, I talked about that. He spends all his money on bat shit. Alright, cool. Thank you.
Holy horrible closing arguments, Batman. First of all, did you just really spend like 3 minutes telling us how he has a Batcopter and a Batplane and a Batmobile and then try to convince us that he would get on the train? With all due respect to my opponent, Mr. Moran, oh, he is a webhead. He is, sir. And I hope this doesn't come as a shocker to your lizard brain, but every Spider-Man fight is chock full of more puns than a Rob O'Reilly closer.
That's inside.
That is inside the ballpark. But seriously, Maragno, when it comes to puns, I'm the kingpin, and you're craving a beatdown. This is the 3rd round. Check the score, peon.
Just because you look like the guy that mops the floor at Arkham Asylum doesn't mean you have to be on Batman's side.
Just because you've spent your life playing that game, and it's easily recalled to your visual memory. And I can recall a naked woman like this. Bam! Naked woman in my mind. Yours covered in a mask and some anime fetish. Listen, I had like 12 more puns, but I think you've stepped on them. And well done, sir. But seriously, stop with your photography bullshit. Teenage wannabe crybaby. I think that's it. Bringing back Shocky to talk about some pussy banging.
Thank you.
If you thought Matt and Spiderman won, give it up for him.
You're too kind. Thank you.
Or if you thought Tim defending Batman. Give it up for those guys again. No.